pain that they feel and what they're really upset at is when they see the energy audits and the reports, they are astounded at the amount of energy that's being lost, and they are bewildered by how they've allowed themselves to let this happen over
because we didn't know. We just didn't know.
So that's a precedent.
Huh?
We're all in that boat together.
We're all in that together.
We're all part of the problem. And once again, I'd like to reframe the potential contest here. There are realtors who are getting on board with this idea of being green.
Absolutely.
And you in Sonoma have some of the outstanding realtors who are doing this. And to their credit, Sharon Ledbetter organized a certification program, what's it called, Echo Green, training realtors to be able to appreciate what makes a home.
Unfortunately, on the state and the national level, the realtor associations are not our friends yet. All we can do is hope those outliers that are doing what you're talking about help influence them. I think what started this whole energy efficiency thing was $4.50 gasoline. And unfortunately, SUVs went to zero sales. Now they're picking up again. I'm not here to, stand on my soapbox, but at the end of the day, a great majority of the people are heavily influenced by the price they have to pay for their utilities. So we have to fix all these houses, and they start to read article after article after article where instead of $200 in uncomfortable, it was $80 in comfortable. And that's how we're going to do it by example. Where we can, that plus stick and carrot. I mean, that's all we can do.
It's definitely coming. Even at a national level, there's a major organization offering nationwide training for appraisals. The people who come in and look at your commercial or residential building and figure out how much it's worth, and they are educating appraisers in how to value these sustainable features. It's something that hasn't been given a lot of thought to before, but it's definitely coming. It's definitely going to be there. Another group that could be labeled as bad guys, including here in Sonoma, I want to put on the table. I have friends who are solar installers, solar PV installers. I think the best of them know about solar thermal as well as solar PV. These are people, other contractors we need to embrace. We need to be working hand in hand with the solar industry because it's going to be a combined effort of reducing the energy we need and then doing appropriately sized clean energy generation. In my opinion, the CPUC, the State Public Utilities Commission, should change the rules. Right now they got it so that you on your house, if you over the course of 12 months generate as much electricity as you use, you come out even. It should be such that if you have a roof that's not shaded and you've got lots of energy generating capacity, you should be able to take full advantage of that and share it with everybody else through the grid.
Right.
So we need to keep pushing the state, to make those changes. But right now, at the very least, we should be encouraging everybody to do the maximum they can to be able to meet the needs of that building. But it doesn't make sense to pay big bucks for high technology, which is what silicon panels are, to generate energy that's just going out through the windows and doors. That is absolutely crazy.
Yeah,
but once we tighten it up, Okay, yes, my soapbox.
And my soapbox is solar thermal.
Yeah.
So,
great.
I mean,
that's the
there's
best.
a ton of emphasis on PV.
Right.
Two different animals, electrician, plumber,
Mm-hmm.
totally different. And I think solar thermal has a huge potential in that it's completely underutilized. It's much more accessible. You don't have to be wealthy to install solar thermal.
It's much more efficient.
Sonoma County, it's more efficient. Laws of physics. It's more efficient, and also here in Sonoma County, because you have a lot of rural areas, and propane can be very.
Then the payback's like with this, it's like 3-4 years.
So
yeah.
I think that that's one thing to be thinking about too. It really hasn't had the dialogue that.
Well, we integrate that into the.
And now solar thermal has the same 30% federal tax credit that the PV has, as well as the state is probably going to be enacting for the rebates on top of that. And they're really simple systems, including insulated tanks on the roof, the thermal side. You just run the city, gets heated by the sun, stays warm because it's insulated. You turn on the tap, the warm water comes down.
There's
It's like
actually-
really simple.
There's actually a program right now that's giving away, as part of a test of a new system, and if anybody's interested, you get a free panel for the roof. It's davisenergy.com, and just look at their opening page of their website. They also are the lead providers in California, meaning they are the main organization that we do our certifications through. But they've got some great, it's a great group of people. But davisenergy.com. And you'll see they're still in a pilot program, and you can get this very interesting looking award-winning design and try it out on your roof. They have like 50 more to go, I think.
But let me just finish up my little rant on
Okay, I'll see.
solar, okay? Because most people think solar, they think PV, electricity, okay? And I think what I've heard is that the solar PV installers have not been too enthusiastic about the launching of an energy efficiency program under the mistaken belief that they're going to be selling smaller PV systems. While it's true that once you retrofit a house and it's using less energy, the appropriate size PV system for that house is smaller, that's true, but that's very short-sighted. That's looking at just that one sale. If you consider the fact that as a county we now have a program that's ramping up to do massive hundreds and hundreds of retrofits, there is a huge opportunity for more people to be encouraged to get on board and do the energy retrofit along with the appropriately sized solar and solar thermal hot water heating, as well as the solar PV systems. So there's a natural symbiosis here that's available. I'm working with solar contractors down in Marin, helping them to realize the need and to develop and to take on board actually staff to be able to do energy efficiency evaluations when they get called to do a PV system on a house. That they're not just looking at the roof and what the electric bill is, but they're going beyond that. And since right now it's kind of a competitive industry in terms of like PV installers are scrambling to get enough business, I think this gives them a real marketing edge. Yes?
It was mentioned earlier by both you and Liz, and I've heard it elsewhere, that all eyes are on Sonoma. Does that mean in the context of California or nationwide? And which other counties then in the nation are doing the same thing, i.e. Austin? Just to have an overview of who we're looking at in a general manner.
All of the above.
Okay.
I live in Marin. Marin has the advantage that we actually had a clean energy initiative similar to your climate action initiative here. And as a result of that, we now have a potential CCA, a community choice aggregate, where we have a Marin Energy Authority who is gearing up to provide us our electricity. That we will pay Marin Energy Authority instead of paying PG&E. PG&E is not too happy about this. I won't go beneath the surface on that, but I think it's healthy competition. The reason why this happened was because not just individuals, but the Marin Municipal Water District, which is the single largest user of electricity in our county, and typical of many counties in California, could not meet their greenhouse gas reduction mandate using PG&E energy at the rate PG&E was cleaning it up, slow. PG&E admitted they weren't meeting their benchmarks for cleaning up their energy. They just, sorry, we can't do it. Tough. Marin Municipal Water Energy took a good chunk of change, which we ratepayers had given them, and said, in your best interest, in the interest of the public, we've got to get some cleaner energy from somebody, and if it's not coming from PG&E, we want to find out where it's going to come from. So they actually launched the seed money to start the initiative that developed the public support that got most of the municipalities and the county of Marin on board with the idea of doing our own energy, our own utility company, if you will. We're not, Marin Energy Authority is not going to produce the electricity. We're not going to run the wires and maintain them. That's still going to be PG&E, but the choice about where the energy is being purchased and generated and what it's going to cost the customer, those have now come back into more public hands, which I think is great. It's democracy reviving itself, okay? But what's really key in Marin